prayers for the president who has been diagnosed with COVID. So this is obviously breaking news.
Yeah.
All the networks are covering it, which they have to. He's going to be working from the White House. It appears that the symptoms right now are minimal, and he's on Plaxivit, which is the antiviral drug.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, obviously this is breaking news. Everyone is covering it right now, so we figured we had to come on here as well. So we're not going to focus exclusively on this today. We have a great show lined up with some really incredible content from all over the world.
New York advertised itself, I hate to say, is that the right word? I guess it is, promoted itself.
Yeah, bragged about.
Being a sanctuary city, that they wanted people that were coming in the country illegally were welcomed in Manhattan. Welcomed in New York.
This is a real burden on New Yorkers as we're trying to do the right thing. We already, as I stated, we already have an overburdened shelter system. So now we're talking about, as you stated, food, clothing, school.
Whether you're living in Texas or Arizona or California border states, or whether you're in Manhattan or Atlanta or a town in Mississippi, this situation with an unregulated, unprotected border is wreaking havoc.
Well, that's not a surprising result. You're a sanctuary city. You're welcoming the world, documented and undocumented. That's a very altruistic and wonderful concept and idea to have. Come one, come all, come to New York, we'll take care of you. But then the reality sets in about taking care of you. When you get them, first you've got to house them. You've got to clothe them. You've got to feed them. You've got to treat them for medical illnesses.
A spokesperson for Governor Abbott, remember, they blamed Texas for sending these people to New York, said that the state has only bused migrants to Washington, D.C., and only if they wanted to go there. And he said that's been about 5,100 people. Then the quote is, if these Democratic mayors are now that concerned about having migrants in their cities, they should call on President Biden to do his job and secure the border instead of attacking Texas with baseless political accusations. The same could be said of Arizona. They didn't send anybody there either. But this is the way it's being politicized now. We are going to go to two live reports from Israel because there's a lot happening there. And we're going to hear from Rick Rennell, who's been in Israel for a week. And we're going to hear also from Jeff Balaban, who is based in our office in Jerusalem. And a lot of you don't know this. When we talk about the issues in Israel and our defense of Israel, what you need to understand is we have an operating office of the American Center for Law and Justice, not an Israeli Center for Law and Justice, the American Center for Law and Justice, based in Jerusalem. There was going to be a regional security alliance, but the United States basically wanted to run it, and it got all these governments saying, that's not the way we envision this happening.
I think what our allies and friends and others are noticing is exactly what we have been watching in all the videos. Biden falling off a bike, his mispronunciations, his mistakes, his blunders. And I think what's happening is the world is seeing America right now not leading. And so when America and the State Department, the Biden administration steps forward to say, we'd like to organize something in the region, the regional players, the leaders in the Middle East are saying, no, we've watched you flounder in Afghanistan. Yep. We've watched you say that you only want 90% of the people coming home. We don't want you organizing us.
Thanks to the last administration, changed, as you described, the entire dynamic. Suddenly there's regional cooperation between parties that have interests that are overlooking decades of enmity against Israel for being a Jewish state. And they're normalizing and they're now maximizing security arrangements against the very people, the very enemies that America is trying to shove into it. It's impossible for them to have them in their own security arrangements. They're literally the enemy. And so America has stepped right in and is now doing terrible harm to the Abraham Accords, to security arrangements between Israel and its Arab allies and the Arab countries themselves who are America's allies.
Folks, we're coming to you right from Jerusalem. In fact, we had two of our folks, Jeff Balaban, senior counsel for the ACLJ, Rick Rennell, our senior advisor for the ACLJ, both in Jerusalem right now. What does that tell you about the global reach of the American Center for Law and Justice?